Hi, guys. Welcome to episode 4, Owning Your Decisions. So, thanks for joining me again in the Good Guy Corner. So, what does it mean to own your decisions? Well, when you're not owning your decisions, you are beating yourself up for decisions that you made, or you're judging yourself for those decisions, essentially, not owning that you made the choice, right? So, examples of some things that we think about this is I shouldn't have done that, right? So, there's a decision that we made in the past. And then now, when we're not owning it, we are thinking, I shouldn't have done that, or I should have known better, or I should have waited longer, right? A lot of shoulds and shouldn'ts. You see that in there? So, when we are judging ourselves or beating ourselves up for our past decisions, then we are not owning them. And therefore, we are disempowering ourselves. Um, we want to have that idea in our mind of that measurement of how empowered we are. I spoke of that in a different episode. So imagine 0 to 10. If you could measure how empowered do you feel, well, when you're judging your decisions, like I shouldn't have taken this job, or um, I shouldn't have whatever, fill it in with what is real for you, then you are at a lower level of empowerment. And it makes it harder to move forward, make different decisions when you're doing that. So let's look a little bit closer. We want to go to the place of where you did make that past decision. So identify in your life some decision that you made that now you're thinking, oh, I shouldn't have done that, or shouldn't have chosen that, shouldn't have made that decision. I should have done something differently. And go back to the place in your past where you made that decision, and identify what were you thinking then, because it's something different than what you're thinking now. And the truth is that when we do make a decision, it always starts with something that we're thinking. So you might have been thinking, I'm going to try this, or I think this will work, or something like that. So go to that place when you notice that you are judging a decision that you made in the past. Identify for yourself, what were you thinking then that caused you to make that decision? Because that can just help you make sense that, oh, there was a reason why I chose this. Now I have perhaps different information, or um, you're thinking differently now, that's causing you to believe you shouldn't have made that decision. So essentially, when we are believing I shouldn't have made that decision, we're fighting with the past. And this is another reason why it disempowers us, because it turns out that every time we fight with the past and we think it should be different than it is, we're going to lose that battle every time, because we just simply can't change the past. But it's amazing when we're not paying attention how often we are fighting with the past. So I just want to offer you that as something to start to become more aware of. All right. Now let's also look about owning decisions in terms of decisions you're needing to be making right now or in the future. Lots of times there are decisions that we're putting off, right? I'll decide later. And I want to offer to you that that is actually a current decision to put it off. And you can do that more intentionally. Like lots of times we just have a default thinking of, oh, I'll just decide later. And then it kind of comes back and comes back. But you can decide intentionally, I am not making a decision right now. And you can give yourself an assignment of when you will make the decision. Or that you're not going to entertain that decision again for like 3 months. So I see this happen a lot where people are thinking, like about a job change, for instance. But they've decided they're actually not going to do anything about it right now, but they keep indulging in entertaining, oh wait, should I be looking for a new job? When should I do that? And it creates a lot of energy usage that's not necessary. And it turns out that we can actually give our brain an assignment that, hey, brain, we're not going to keep thinking about this. I've already decided I'm not going to make a decision about this for 3 more months or until the beginning of the year or something like that. And then when it starts to come back, you can control it in just kind of talking back to it that, oh, wait, brain, remember, we already decided we're not deciding about that until September 1st or whatever. And then you can actually put it on your calendar that that's when we're going to decide that. So another thing to consider is that when you are not deciding something, be sure to look at what are the reasons. What are the reasons why you're putting it off? And because you might like the reasons. It can be a legitimate thing to put off a decision. And even more empowering for you is to identify what are the reasons why you would put it off. And therefore, you can own those reasons, right? If you like the reasons for putting off your decision, then own them. And then again, you can address when you will decide, right? Because if we just take a pause to look at all of the times that we just tell ourselves, oh, I'll just decide later. I don't want to decide right now. We are doing our future self a disservice, right? We're kicking it down the road and we're going to still have to face it again. So we want to make sure that we like our reasons and doing it intentionally so that it's not just disempowering. So why does all this even matter? Why does it matter for you to own your decisions or to own that you are choosing not to decide something right now? And it matters because when you are judging yourself or beating yourself up for past decisions, it erodes at your relationship with yourself. So this is something that I'm going to be touching on a lot from time to time here in the podcast, that we all have a relationship with ourself. And we don't often think of that, but we do. And it's made up of our thoughts about ourselves. And when we're having those judgmental thoughts or beating ourselves up, that affects our relationship with ourselves, just like if we were to have those thoughts about somebody else, it would affect our relationship with them. So that's why this matters, to pay attention to what are you thinking about your past decisions? How are you judging yourself, beating yourself up, not owning that, oh, yeah, there was a reason why I made that decision in the first place. Now I possibly am thinking about it differently and I would make a different choice now. But give yourself that respect, really, of the reasons why you did already make that decision so that you can own that decision and be more empowered. This also matters because if you are not owning your decisions, you are disempowering yourself and also making it harder to make future decisions that are going to matter for you. So, my assignment for you today is to just become more aware of what you are thinking about decisions, about past decisions, about current decisions that maybe you're not making, that you're kicking down the road. Just notice those thoughts and notice where you are judging or beating yourself up. All right. Okay. So until next time, I'm Coach Mimi in the Good Guy Corner. I'm on your side.